Do you know where the phrase grandfathered in comes from? You might be shocked to find out about its racist roots. Stay tuned. Welcome back to The Art of Doing, everyone, where we seek to inspire you to practice doing new and different things, explore new interests, and discover new passions. If this is your first time to the channel, we're dropping new content every week on various different topics, hoping to spark something in you that might be a new interest or a new passion. In this episode of You Might Be Shocked, we're going to talk about the term grandfather clause. And you might say, grandfathered in? That's a racist phrase? Wait a cotton picking minute. And I would say, yes, and watch what you're saying. In order to unpack what grandfathered in means, we're gonna have to take a little bit of history lesson, and I personally am very weak in the subject of history, so when I find some historical fact that shocks me, it really does stick with me. So let's go back a little bit to after the Emancipation Proclamation. All the slaves were freed and basically had a right to vote. In 1870, Congress passed the 15th Amendment, which prohibited the discrimination of voting rights based on race and many other factors. And that did not sit well with southern states at all. And they passed a series of laws looking to make it very difficult for blacks to vote. They passed poll taxes, which you basically had to pay a fee in order to vote, and they passed a string of literacy tests, which really put a hamper on black voting, as a lot of the black folks in the southern states couldn't read. Well, what happened was that this also disenfranchised a lot of white voters that also had literacy issues. So they eventually passed some rules, these grandfather clauses, which stated if your grandfather had fought in the Civil War on either side, his voting rights could extend down to you. And that's that term, grandfather clause. Now, these clauses really worked to stop black voting in these southern states. And it wasn't really until the mid-60s with the Voter Act of 1965 and the 24th Amendment barring polling taxes and the Voter Rights Act, which allowed the federal government supervision and oversight into enforcement of these rules to stop disenfranchising voters, that it really became easier for black folks in the southern states to vote. In the mid-60s, late 60s, early 70s, you really saw a surge in registration among black voters. Now, I've used that term grandfather clause so many times. My question for you is, do you know any other phrases like that have these racist roots, but we say them every day? As a matter of fact, maybe I should make a video on your suggestions. If you have enough of them, I'll drop the top 5 racist phrases that we use and don't know are racist. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. And if you're still watching this video, you've liked it so far, please hit that like button, thumb that up, and share it with your friends. I appreciate the time. Let's always remember to practice humility. Let's practice compassion, and let's practice kindness. And thank you for being with me to help me practice the art of doing. Some great videos for you to watch over here. Click over here to subscribe. Thanks, everybody.